Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad you're here with us today to talk a little bit about Google certifications and what all of those things mean. So I have a presentation ready for you today that we are going to talk about certifications. And if I can figure out my phone to switch scenes here. There we go. All right. Hopefully you'll be able to see the captions on the bottom of the screen, and that will help those that need it. If you want me to make those bigger, I can surely do that for you. So welcome to Google Certification Basics, put on for you by our GEG virtual leadership team here. I have Tammy and Joseph hanging out in the chat. If you have questions, feel free to put those in there. And I'm sorry if you can hear my cat. I locked him out of the room, but he's still being very insistent that he wants to come in and hang out with me and make this stream even more noisy. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about certifications. Why in the world would you want to get certified from Google? So on the Google Teacher Trainer website, there are 3 reasons. The first is that you can get recognized for the work that you've done in putting all of this knowledge to the test. You can put your badge outside your classroom, or excuse me, hang it on your door in your classroom, or make sure that your administrator knows that you are a Google certified educator. You can also demonstrate your proficiency to Google tools. You know that many of you that have gone through the testing yourself know that, yes, it is a good validation of all the things you know, but you also learn things at the same time. There's many testimonials from people that have gone through the training and taken the exams that say, yeah, I knew a lot about Google tools for education before I started, but I learned something along the way. And finally, you can make a bigger impact on the world at large. So because you know all of these amazing things to do with Google Suite for Education, you can bring those tools into your classroom and use them to be more efficient in your teaching, pass those tools along to your students in using them in the classroom, and hopefully they will see the value in using the tools as well, the students will, and continue to use them even though they might not be in your classroom anymore. So, where do you get started? The first step is Google Educator Level 1. And in Level 1, you cover content from the fundamentals training on the Google Teacher Center. I'll talk a little bit about that on the next slide, so I'm not going to go into super detail about it right now. It is valid for 3 years, so after you take the test, it is good for 3 years, and then after that 3 years is up, they will send you an email and say, hey, this is expiring, you should take it again. And then you recertify, and you are good for another 3 years. The reason they do this is not to make you pay them more money, but in order to keep your skills sharp. And as we know, Google is updating things all the time to make sure that they are giving us for free the best possible product. And a lot of the changes they make are based on feedback you give. So if you have opinions on what should be changed in any of the Google suite of tools, there is often or always a question mark symbol on the particular site that you're using where you can give feedback. And a lot of the changes that have happened, especially in Google Classroom, are because educators have given their feedback to the Google team and they have put those updates in place for us. Anyhow, I'm getting off track. The exam itself, you have 180 minutes or 3 hours to take the exam. And it is a mixture of multiple choice and matching, and practical application questions. So you will actually have to go in and use a sample Google account and follow the directions that they give you to fulfill a scenario that they present. So in level 1, you're mostly dealing with email and classroom, and I believe Drive, if I remember right. It's been a while since I've taken it. If you have comments, I will be sure to address them in the chat. Hello, Amanda. It's good to see you. It's possible people are posting on the post in the group as well and not on the live video itself, so I am relying on my moderation team to send me those messages, and I don't see anything yet, so I'm going to keep on going. So exam level 1 is $10 US, and so if you do not pass, they require a 2-week waiting period in order to take the test again. But I believe that with the help of our GEG group and all the great people that have been posting questions and how-tos and amazing things, we can help you get through any exam that you want to take here for the Google certification. So the fundamentals training is what you go through for level 1. And I have the link up here too, and the new teacher center is actually really well designed. They actually have a learning management system set up to go through these modules and units so that you can learn and grow using these trainings. And the trainings are completely free. You can take the training without having to take the test at all. You can go through on your own time and decide whether or not you want to take the test to get the badge and the certificate. But nobody's saying you can't do that after taking the training. Anyway, so here are some of the things that this training entails. Engaging in professional growth and leadership. So you go through 2 units about using technology in the classroom and expanding your access to help and learning. And after each unit, there is a review quiz. So if you are someone who says, I use Google all the time, I know what I'm doing, I would definitely go through the review quizzes and see if those seem easy to you. And if they do, then you should have no trouble on the test. So that's the first part. And then the second section is called Increase Efficiency and Save Time. It talks about having a mostly paperless classroom, saving time communicating, organizing activities for yourself and others, bringing meetings online, so talking about Google Meet, bringing student work online, and then measuring, understanding, and sharing student growth. And then the final section is facilitate and inspire student learning and creativity. So teaching students online skills, building interactive lessons, captivating your class with video, facilitating group work, and lastly, promoting digital citizenship. That always gets tangled up in my mouth. Digital citizenship and positive online behavior, something that many of us can learn and get better at. So that is the fundamentals training for level 1. So as I said, you can take, there we go. You can do the fundamentals training without taking the test at the end. But if you go through the training, why not take the test? On the new Google Teacher Center, it says that the training should take about 15 hours if you go through everything as they have set up in the lesson plan. So once you're done with that and you say, I know all this stuff, I think I'm even more advanced than that, you can move on to Google Educator Level 2. And Level 2 includes things like, too many tabs open right now. Cognitive overload. Here we go. Level 2 is the Google Teacher Center Advanced Training. And this is also valid for 3 years, just like Level 1. So on Honestly, I took the level 2 certification before I took the level 1 because I had taken the tests through the old certification system where there was a test on every app. Long time ago. Anyway, so level 2, you can take them in either order. It doesn't matter. If you feel super comfortable with Google tools, you could jump right into level 2 right away. But they do expire each 3 years. So if you take both tests in 1 year, they will both expire in 3 years' time. So again, 180 minutes, 3 hours allowed for this exam. Again, most people that take the exam I have seen say do plan to use the entire 3 hours and take the test in a place where you do not have interruptions, if that's possible for you. And, you know, do all the things you need to do before you sit down and start your testing sessions, like use the restroom or have something to drink. Anyway, so the exam cost for level 2 is a little bit more. It's $25 US, and the same testing procedure applies. So if you do not pass the first time, you have a waiting period before you're allowed to apply to take again. But again, our group is here to help you. There are so many people that are volunteering their time to answer questions and support people in their learning. So let me jump to the advanced training here. And the headings for the sections in the advanced training are the same as they were in the fundamentals training. But they're a little, they have deeper information. So in the engaging of professional growth and leadership, there is promote and model the effective use of digital tools, leverage learning models to personalize learning, increasing efficiency and saving time. You have 4 units, using advanced features to optimize workflow, connecting with guardians, analyze and interpret student data, organize your class and school materials more effectively. And then finally, in the third module, facilitate and inspire student learning and creativity. You have Unit 7, design interactive curricula. Unit 8, teach beyond the 4 walls of your classroom. Unit 9, harness the power of Google for research. Unit 10, give students a voice. And Unit 11, student agency. So there are many learning opportunities in all of these trainings. I know that there were plenty of things that I learned even going through them again during my recertification. So level 1 and level 2 are something that I think is good for any classroom teacher in a Google school. It will sharpen their skills and help them implement the tools in their classroom and helping students to become more efficient in their work. If you are a person who becomes level 1 and level 2 and the people in your school are saying, you are really good at teaching this, and you say, well, maybe I would like an opportunity to do more training, then the Google Certified Trainer certification is for you. So what does it mean to be a Google Certified Trainer? We have a lot of trainers in the group as well. To become a trainer, you have to complete the trainer course and the trainer skills assessment, which are both available in the Teacher Center. You have to have your educator level 1 and level 2 license, or certification rather, it's not a license. And then you film a video teaching people how to do something, and it's a short video. It's a 1-minute video, and it can be really tricky to get everything in a 1-minute video, but there are lots of videos out there, so maybe we should start a thread of people's certified trainer videos just to have little tidbit skills. Anyway, going down the rabbit trail again. Okay, so then there's an application and a case study where you show that you have experience training other people and doing professional development with people, because that's one of the things that they like to have is someone with some experience doing trainings, regardless if they are Google related or not. In order to keep your training certification active, you need to do a minimum of 12 trainings per year, and there is usually a product update assessment. As I mentioned earlier, Google is updating all the time, so you want to make sure that you're keeping updated on all of the tools that Google has. Excuse me. So this exam is 120 minutes, so 2 hours, and it costs $15 US. So how they track your trainings throughout the years, they have a activity tracker where once you've completed a training, such as this session today, I will log into the activity tracker and say I facilitated an online session. There were 100 people watching. Still blows my mind. Hello, everyone. And any resources that go along with that. And then as long as I submit at least 12 of those per year, I'm good to go with my certified trainer. And that can look different for everyone. It doesn't need to be an online session. It doesn't need to be only an in-person session. It could be office hours where you're doing one-on-one training with someone. Once you sign up for the, once you get into the trainer community, there are specific things that are shared with you. I will give a shout out to the Google Trainer group, the Google group, because there are so many great things happening in there and sharing of information. And I've learned a ton of things from there too. So anyhow, that is the Google Trainer. Next, I have the Google Cloud certification for G Suite. And I took this test a couple years ago, I think, when they were starting to roll this out, and did it as a beta tester. So this is a certification that is semi-related to the Grow with Google program, or Applied Digital Skills, in that anyone 13 plus can take this exam and show their proficiency with Google Suite. And this is good to show to employers or colleges that they are already fluent in these digital collaboration tools. Normally the test is $75 US, and there's a discounted rate for students, $37. And as I was looking through the website for this information, it did say that academic pricing is available to students and educators, including administrators. So if this is interesting to you, I would dig a little more into that and see if there's a place to register for that educational discount. I'm sure it exists somewhere if they put that on their site. So this is, you have a certification that shows up on the certify.net, is that right? Credential.net, excuse me. Credential.net website, and you can share that publicly, and people can see that you have this certification in your professional life. So finally, I have one more here, the Google for Education Certified Innovator. Normally this is a 3-day in-person academy, and this year, unfortunately, or fortunately, it depends on how you look at it, due to our global pandemic that's happening, they are going virtual this year. They will have a virtual event in English and Spanish, and applications are now open for that. So how they're going to do it is they'll have an 8-week online experience with approximately 3 hours a week of online sessions with people. And then after those 8 weeks are over, that will be followed up with 8 months of one-to-one mentorship with an expert innovator, someone that has gone through the innovator experience already. So you do not have to be a trainer to do the innovator, but you do have to have your level 2 certification. And to put together your application for this, you have to identify a challenge in your classroom or school that you'd like to try to solve. And then interview a few students or teachers affected by this challenge that you've identified, and film a 90-second video about that challenge and why you want to solve it. So applications are open right now for this virtual Certified Innovator Academy, and the application deadline is July 10 of this year. So I know that there are a few of us that are applying for this experience. Good luck to everyone that applies. And I have only heard amazing things about this experience and how awesome it is. Okay, so we're coming up to our last few minutes here. Where do you begin? So as you may have seen in our group, they are transitioning to a new testing provider, ProctorU, and trying to phase out Criterion Web Assessor as their testing site. There are a couple differences between the two platforms, but the content is the same. Like in the training and in the test, you get the same type of questions, the same type of assessment in what you know about Google Suite for Education. So ProctorU is a testing experience where you have to install a browser extension, and it's obviously a more proctored experience. You have a camera on the entire time, and they are not necessarily watching you as you're going through the test, but making sure for the integrity of the exam. I believe you have to have your camera on also for Criterion. Those people that have taken the test using ProctorU, there's two ways you can sign up. You can schedule a time in the future, or you can schedule a test right when you, I think it's within 15 minutes of signing up, you can take the test. The people who have taken the test on ProctorU have said that it takes longer for them to get their results, to see whether they have passed. Criterion, I believe, in regards to that, the test, the results come more quickly. So if you are using teachercenter.withgoogle.com/certification to sign up, that will lead you to the Criterion platform. If you use the new website, which is g.co/edu certifications, that will sign you up with ProctorU. So depending on where you want to go, that is the website where you start to sign up. I'm not going to suggest one over the other. It's kind of 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. If you want to know more quickly, maybe Criterion is the way to go. If you want to make sure that you have the most updated training, the new Teacher Center might be the way to go for you. Let's see. I'm going to come back to this screen and see if there are any questions from people. We have about 5 minutes left in the time that I have outlined for this presentation today. Anna, I see your question. Are there any job offers after getting trainer certificates or the Innovator certificate? So that is a good question. I do have those certifications listed. Well, the ones I have listed on my resume as additional certifications that I hold. I don't know that there are specific jobs listed for specifically Google trainers or Google innovators. However, I don't ever think that that would be a negative thing on a resume or to mention in an interview. The nice thing about being a trainer is that you can advertise yourself as a trainer and do PD sessions for whoever, whether that's just in your school district, in your community or state or nationally. I know people have been able to do more presentations because of being a trainer. It does open up opportunities, but I don't know if there are specific full-time jobs that you would be hired for. It is definitely something you could go out on your own and have your own consulting company or PD company that you would want to do. Haley asks, is the camera on just to verify that it is us taking the test? Yes. Nobody is sitting there watching you and saying, oh no, they got up or they moved around. I know on ProctorU you need to verify your identity using your either driver's license or ID card, just so they can match your face, I think. Yeah, the reason that they're trying to move over into this new testing experience is to to keep the academic integrity of the test. When you take the test, you do sign a non-disclosure agreement that you do not talk about anything specifically that's on the test. I didn't know this previously, but apparently there were people like taking the test to write down the questions so they could do trainings and give people the specific things that were on the test, which is totally against the NDA. I can go back to my screen here for the student certification in just a second. Okay. So yes, having the camera on is just a way that they can say, this is you, it's nobody else taking the test for you. And there we go. And to make sure that it's you and not someone else or someone taking the test for you. So what was the training for students you mentioned? So I'm jumping back to the student certification, and I believe if you go to this website is cloud.google.com/certification/G Suite. I'll copy the link and put that in the chat here. There we go. Yes, this one is designed for students and yes, you can take level 1 and your son can take this training as well. And the Applied Digital Skills curriculum that Google has put out is geared toward getting students to get this cloud certification. So you'll find more about that at the website that have been posted. Any final questions that anyone has? Not seeing anything pop up in the chat here. So I am going to say thank you for joining us for this Certification Basics little live video here on Facebook. Please feel free to share the video with anyone that you think might find this useful. And please pass along the word about our Google group to anyone that might want to join us and learn more about using Google Suite for education. So thank you and have a wonderful rest of your day.